Hey, good morning YouTube. This is Soko Guy. It is spring in southern Colorado, so most of my videos are technical or electronics or mechanical. Anyhow, today I'm just gonna smell the flowers, as they say. It's getting older in life, and thought I'd show you some of the pretty spring flowers and plants that come up here in Colorado. So my wife planted a bunch in the front. We'll go past those, but a lot of these are wildflowers, and I'll get into those in a couple minutes. There's a bunch of sunflowers coming up. They're volunteers from last year. There's a little aspen tree. It's a volunteer. And here's a little garden here. The deer were really nice and scarred up my aspen tree last year, trying to kill it, but it's persevering. So like I said, most of these we've planted around here, and my wife's just done a beautiful job. So anyhow, we came from southern Indiana. Everyone says, well, you know, don't you miss mowing your grass? No, not really. Not at all. We don't have grass grow here like it did in Indiana, so that's probably a good thing. Just some of her stuff. Look at these little flowers here. These are beautiful. So these are wildflowers. I think she threw some wildflower seed out, and it just randomly popped up wherever it wanted to. See, the whole bank has come up in wildflower seed here. I guess it's looks like weeds by some people's standards. And all this grass here have left a seed because it's hard to get grass to grow. So I'll let this seed and drop, and then I'll mow it once, and that'll be it for the year. And here's a back porch we made out of stones from our other property. So these flowers here have just popped up out of the gravel all by themselves, and they're past their prime. They were a nice vibrant purple color. Yeah, look at that flower there. That's funny. Haven't really had to water it. It just doesn't seem to grow very fast, but anyhow. So we'll head on down the hill, and I'll show you some of the wildflowers that grow down here, and how pretty they are. Okay, now we're down in our little meadow down below the house, and you can see just a little variety, a few colors, but everything has its season out here, and it comes in, you know, like a couple of weeks for this flower and a couple of weeks for that flower. It's kind of hard to get them all together, but yeah, they're really pretty. And let's see what else we can find around here. It's a little different variety. Along the roads, you'll see big waves of purple flowers, then white ones and yellow ones. Just big bunches. They'll just go on and on. So anyhow, those are a little different. Got Mr. B's in here working on this one. So I just shoot him off. And that's kind of pretty right there. And some of these, like I said, they're past their prime. Some of them are coming in now. So we're kind of in the middle a little bit. But yeah, there's another pine tree that the deers just mangled for me last year. Thank you, deers. And we'll just kind of walk around here and see a few more. Oh, they're kind of nice. And there's a little patch of purple up here coming up. Purple cone flowers, they look like. But yeah, it's a nice time of year. So I'll head back up the hill, see if we can find something else on the way back. Can you see the remnants of leaves in these rocks, the patterns? They're all over. But a lot of them get broken up because they're pretty fragile. Sometimes you find them in harder rock and you could carve one of those out. But yep, a lot of leaf matter in this before it consolidated into rock. Yeah, there's a little piece of one right there. I'm not sure. There's a little more under it here. Yep. Yep, just a little tiny piece. So that's something. Woo, Nelly. Out of breath. Came up a big hill. So this here looked like an old badger's den right here. And you can look here on the side of the bank where we cut it out. Some of the holes that were exposed. And it's pretty cool. All kinds of crazy stuff out here. And so humidity, there is none. So it's easy to stay cool. And it's easy to stay warm in the winter. So I like it a lot. See if we can find some of our cactus up here. Had some little barrel cactus that had some beautiful blooms on them. And maybe out of, yeah, they're gone. Well, anyhow, these cactus have just gorgeous blooms on them, bright vivid red. And then so these choyas here, the choyas will come up with yellow or purple or pinkish flowers. And I see my timing's off a little bit, but I'll keep chugging on and see if I can find something else. So I'm about tuckered out. That's about a mile walk around our little trail down to the field. And anyhow, these are rabbit ear cactus, and they're not much to look at right now. You can see a lot of new growth on them. And they will come up with these little bulbs that turn kind of a purplish and then a pinkish. And they're very good to eat. You've got to clean the skins off the outside, but very high in vitamin C. And so I'm sure that sustained a lot of people in the old days. So here we are on the road out in front of the house. And it looks like the purples have the lead so far. But yeah, these flowers will just come up every week or so for, I don't know, a few more weeks. And they'll be purple, and then they'll be orange and white, and get your blues and your yellows in there. And a lot of barren ground too. So let's see if I can find a patch of something else to look at besides this. Looks like it's all the same in here. That's a nice pinkish variety right there. Yeah, that's cool. So here's where our water comes from our garden. We capture it from the gutters, goes down the downspouts and into those two holding tanks there on the bank. And then it gravity feeds via a hose down here to this gravity tank, 275 gallons. And it's fresh rainwater. You can't beat that, right? So this is my wife's garden. It looks amazingly plain, and that's because we just planted it. You can see where she watered this morning, and there are some plants just starting to sprout up, but we got some good dirt from a guy down the road, and it's good and loamy and dark, and so hopefully we'll set the tomatoes out here real soon, and all the plants that have been sheltered in here in the greenhouse. And there's a pear tree to replace our last year's pear tree that the deer mangled. I seem to hear a theme coming on here about deer. I used to brag on them, and I built her this greenhouse several years ago from plans online for free, and it didn't cost much. And we do have to fence it, obviously, to keep those deer out. There's the D word again. And see what she's got in here. Oh, look at this. She has got all kinds of lusciousness going on here. So that's pretty cool. I can see a couple blooms even already. And so I'm not sure if she'd like me showing her greenhouse or not, but I'll definitely find out once I put it online. Anyhow, you would think greenhouses are important here, and they really are. But gosh, you can get so much heat in such a short time. So that's why we put this shade fabric up. And I just put a simple little 50-watt solar panel and a fan up here and cut a vent in the top. And that helps draw it from down below where we cut another hole. And it's not the end of the earth for keeping it cool in here, but it sure does help. So anyhow, we'll head back up here and see if I missed anything. Maybe we'll come back in a couple weeks and show you how much everything's changed. The flowers just change every couple weeks. So let's see, where's a good note to end on? No, probably right here. This is just gorgeous. She was quite the gardener back in Indiana, and out here in Colorado it is a challenge. So maybe we'll come back a little later or something. So in the meantime, this is Soko guy in south central Colorado, and just taking it all in today. So have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.